So it's not often that I say this. It is really not often that I say this at all. This show's fandom was doomed from the start. And I'm not saying this from the perspective of looking at a toxic fandom. I'm also not saying this from the perspective of looking at it as a people ruin everything. This show was doomed from the start because the creator himself is involved in contributing to deep, dark websites and other various Rule 34 forums and such. And just seeing his work and also finding out that he got fired from production on this show for sexual harassment kind of speaks volumes for the kind of person that he is, and how the main audience of this show are complete fucking deviants. If you watch this show and you enjoy it and you are not involved with it, 100% props go to you, and that's it. But I'm just saying that a good 85% of this show's fans are into some really disgusting and degenerate shit, just like the creator of it. So this is not a toxic fandoms. This is not a people ruin everything. This is just the dark side of the Loud House. So how about the show itself on a lighter tone here before we get into the dark shit? It's funny, it's creative, it's interesting. I mean, Lincoln Loud is the main character of the show. He's a middle child in between 12 other kids, and all of his siblings are sisters, and he's the only boy in the house, besides his father. So that's interesting. It's very funny, it's really fun to watch. Although it came out at a time where I was already past the demographic that it was aimed towards. When it came out, I was already 13 and moving on to other shit. So, I gotta give it its creativity that much. So, it's nice to see something original on Nickelodeon again. Because there are plenty of Nickelodeon shows that either never really made their mark or was canceled before they really can reel in an audience. This one is in its 7th season now, and it's doing really, really well, even having spin-offs and live-action series planned for it. So it's better to see this than basically SpongeBob being Nickelodeon's life support. So I gotta give it all the credit for that, and that's the only positive I can really say about this show. Other than that, the fandom behind it, good fucking God. When it comes to fandoms, relationship shipping between two characters is always a thing. The problem is when it's just straight up fucking incest. And this fandom is full of it. Lincoln sleeping with his sisters sleeping with their sisters, Lincoln sleeping with his mom, Lincoln sleeping with his dad. Holy shit, it's endless. It does not fucking stop. There is not one fanfic here that just revolves around writing a funny episode for the series. Everything is twisted chomo smut, and that is it. Everything is incestuous chomo smut. And it's worse in the comic strips that people like to make. Actually, I can't really call them comic strips. They're like full-on fucking books. Here's a website that I stumbled upon from checking out the Loud House fandom page, where it shows there's 10 comics a page, and there's 10 pages to go on. So there's over 100 Loud House smut comics on this one website. All of them very graphic, very gross, and it's one of those things where it's the first time I disagree with the First Amendment. Freedom of speech and freedom of expression. This shit should be straight up fucking banned, made illegal, and these people should be put on a list. If you don't know who Chris Savino is, that's fair enough. He's the creator of the Loud House. He's the one behind the creation of this show. And his past is really, really disturbing. I mean, this guy started as a humble cartoon artist and slowly started becoming a smut cartoon artist. In 2017, Chris Savino was fired from Nickelodeon subsequently due to sexual harassment allegations, which many people stepped forward out of the dark and brought it into the light to expose what is a predator in Nickelodeon studios. What's even worse is the fandom is so toxic and so supportive of his actions and also his drawings and his degenerate amount of CP found on his computer. There's a petition to try to get him back into Nickelodeon, which I cannot believe they're even doing. Considering what this guy is doing is an unforgivable act that even in prison, prisoners cannot stand offenders like this. I hope this guy never crawls out of the dark hole that he basically buried himself in. I really hope that none of this gets accepted, and I hope this guy does not get away with something like this. Doomed from the start. That's exactly what this fandom is. And it is fucking awful. I think this is by far the worst fandom I've ever had to review or even just take a small look out of it. I think I'm barely scraping the 5% of the fandom's toxicity for the Loud House, but I am not going to go any further into it. It's not the dark web, but it sure as hell feels like it. So, thank you guys for watching this. Hopefully, maybe you learned something new, and tomorrow, I think I just need to do a nutshell video. I just need to have some fun editing and shit like that, just to get my mind off of this shit, because this is one of those things, this is one of those fandoms that just made me, like, tremble, like, shake. Just looking at what people say and what people write and what people draw, it's fucking making me shake, and making my stomach churn. So, let's shoot for 100 likes on this video. Leave me a comment, subscribe. You get the drill, and I'll see you in the next one.